We got our first tier list of Madden 25, and today we're looking at all the team builders. You see all of them blurred behind me right now. We're going to reveal this at the end of the video. We're going to go division by division, then talk 85s, then talk Myles Garrett at the end of the video. So make sure you stick around till the end, or just skip to the end like most of you do anyway. But if you are looking at a team builder to your team today, head to my sponsor MMOEXP for the cheapest, most reliable MUT coins on the market. Do not forget to use code FERDY at checkout for 5% off. While I'm recording this part of the video, the 85s are not out yet, but these 82s aren't going to get any, crazy X factors like some of the 85s will. So I'm waiting for those cards to actually come out before recording that part of the video, because I think that's actually somewhat important. But Jalen Mills, 83 speed for the Giants. He'll be all right. If we look at Jalen Mills's, other cards in the game, we're able to kind of see what his build is. We're still early in the year, so there's some things that could be tweaked. Jalen Mills, he is 6 foot, which is actually not terrible, but 68 hit power, free safety, 82 zone. I would say unless you have one of his theme teams, he's probably not going to be worth it. Zach Bond for the Eagles team, left outside linebacker, under 80 finesse moves. He's a speed rusher with under 80 finesse moves and 83 speed. I don't love this card. I don't love the Zach Bond card whatsoever. Terrence Steele as well. Really good run blocker. And honestly, the thing is, run blocking and blocking in this game right now in general is just bad across the board. So I don't think it's like a pick one situation like in college football. I'm cool with there being low pass block or low run block, because run blocking is good in that game just in general. So I'd rather have good pass blocking. But in this game, if you're just a runner, I mean, Terrence Steele could be good. But outside of that, I don't know, with those low pass blocking stats, especially on your tackle, is definitely scary. And then at cornerback, to round out the NFC East, we have Benjamin St-Juste, who's actually has a really good build. If we look up St-Juste here, I believe he's been 6'3" in the past. Is there no Juice? How do I spell his name? Does he not have a card yet in the game? Oh, it's a dash. Okay, he's got a dash in his name. Wait, where was I? Okay, Saint Dash. Yeah, there he is. Okay, he's 6'3", 200 still. Which on St-Juste, 83 speed. I believe he has only been a commander. But, I mean, on a theme team, 6'3", 84 speed would not be terrible. It would not be. But again, a lot of these cards you're going to see are kind of built to be pretty decent on theme teams. But some of them, you know who, it's a bit of an outlier. We now have the NFC South. Getting started here with Pete Werner. I really do not like this card. Usually, run stopper outside linebackers are usually probably the worst archetype. Because, pass coverage, they usually have good zone. But unless they juice like his block shed and things like that, which is not, a run stopper can be decent, but 78 block shot on a run stopper. He's got no pass rush bag. He's not going to be a great user at 81 speed. And sorry, I hit the mic there, but P. Werner is he's just bad, okay, all around. I'm not a fan of the card at all. Next up, we got Rondale Moore for the Falcons. 5'7", but 86 speed on the theme team. This is pretty much a Tyreek Hill, a slightly worse Tyreek Hill on a theme team. 86 speed. If you have a Cardinals team or a Falcons team, you're going to be pretty decent there. The route running isn't at Tyreek's level, but it's Tyreek-like. This card's going to play a lot like a Tyreek Hill would. Probably won't be as good as after the catch, but that's probably the best comp for Rondale Moore. And Tyreek's usually the best receiver when the game first comes out, but obviously we have guys that are getting up to his speed, that are taller and more consistent. I mean, we also have a lot of wide receivers coming out over the next couple of days here, but Cade Otton, a 79 speed tight end, I'm good on that. I'm good on that. And then Troy Hill, decent on a theme team. I do want to see the build on Troy Hill. I think he's under 6 foot, if I remember correctly. 5'11", but good man coverage, under zone though. And usually more people I feel like are running zone coverage at this point in the year. And next up, we have the NFC North with Shaquille Griffin. 85 acceleration. He is over 80 in zone coverage with 84 speed. It's not terrible, right? If you have him on a Seattle team or a Vikings team, I don't hate using this card. 85 speed would not be terrible. But outside of that, it's not a card you're going after to add to your team if you don't have one of the theme teams, right? Darnell Wright, pretty consistent. Pass block is under 80, run block over 80, but I like having these at least 80-80. The rest of them aren't as important, but obviously 80 across the board will be very good for an offensive lineman. Jack Campbell is going to be overlooked because we obviously have Divine Diablo, who we'll talk about later in the video, but 84 speed. Jack Campbell, I believe, is also 6'5". I can check on that, but I believe that he is 6'5", 250 pretty much, with 89 acceleration, which for a user, acceleration is very important. Be able to kind of bait routes and get to your max speed as fast as possible. On a Lions theme team, 85 speed with 90 acceleration is going to play crazy. Even not on a theme team, I might even look at this card, honestly. As a user, obviously by himself, low zone coverage, even kind of low block shot, but as a user, he looks pretty good. The 89 Excel really does excite me. We then have the center, Josh Myers. He's got 80-80, a nice center option there for the NFC North. Nothing crazy in this division besides Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell's, I think he's going to be pretty slept on in this promo today. We now got the NFC West. So you're going to see a lot of these low-speed defensive linemen at the bottom of the tier list. And this one's just bad. He's a run stopper, right? 77 block shed with no pass rush bag and no speed and low acceleration. This is one of the worst cards. I don't even know why they make cards like this. Especially because if they made linemen consistently slow, like say some of the faster linemen were like 80 speed or something, or like, you know, so somewhere in there, okay, that makes sense. But I don't know, that guy's pretty much unusable, even on a theme team. But AJ Jackson, okay, 84 pass block I like. If you can get that little run block up a little bit, I don't hate it. Not a bad card for AJ Jackson. Jake Brendel, 80, yeah, that's pretty good too for Brendel. And then we got Bylis Nichols, who does have 80 power moves. I have a Cardinals team myself, and I probably won't add this card to my squad. He doesn't really have a spot. Because you're only using like 4 pass rushers at most, maybe 6 if you run 6-1 or whatever. But and usually there's linebackers. Like, he's not worth filling one of those spots at all, in my opinion. So, yeah, even on a theme team, Bylis and Jaron Reed, they just make no sense to add to your squads, even if you have their theme team. You know what I mean? We now have the AFC North. I have a Jets cards team, and Sheldon Rankins would get Jets chems, but I know I won't be adding him to my team. These defensive linemen are just pretty bad. There are maybe, I think there might be one good one. I don't remember. But Juan Thornhill is pretty good. Juan Thornhill, 6 foot, 205, 85 speed, 85 acceleration. Under in zone and man, but it's the physicals, right, on this card that go a long way. So I do like Juan Thornhill, especially if you have like a Browns team or something, or a Chiefs team, which Chiefs team is pretty good. And you get an 86 speed safety now if you have one of those squads. Nelson Aguilar, Eagles, Raiders, Ravens. I'm probably missing one in there. But, you know, 82. What's actually his build? Is he 6 foot? I feel like Aguilar's probably 5'11". If I take a guess. Maybe he's... Did I spell his name wrong? Oh, there's no L. It's like that. Okay. Oh, he's 6 foot. Okay, not terrible if you have a Ravens team. Or, he played Patriots too. I forgot about that. Patriots for Nelson Aguilar. And finally we have Dan Moore, who under 80 run block, 81 pass block. Offensive lineman, like, you know, they're all right. There's nothing crazy here. Until we get to the 85s, at least. There's nothing crazy. We now have the AFC South with Tank Dell here. Probably going to be a pretty popular card that people use on their teams. Tank Dell, fan favorite. But as far as him and Rondale Moore go, they're pretty similar. You're trading that one extra speed for a little bit less height. And they're both shorter cards. It's not like a 6'2" to 6'11", or 5'11" guy or 5'10" guy. They're both undersized. So to me, the difference between 5'10" and 5'7" isn't that big of a deal. You're already a small body receiver. But yeah, I think they'll be next to each other on the tier list. So at the end of the day, use whatever card you want to use there. We get Arden Key with 76 speed, 81 acceleration, 85 finesse move, which is actually pretty good. The only problem is that his speed's a little bit low, but 85 finesse move on an 82 is actually pretty impressive. Ezra Cleveland, he's definitely one-sided, but the high run block. Maybe you invest in the high run block guys and you just trust your pass blocking. I don't know. Then we have Ronnie Harrison Jr., 84 speed, 85 acceleration. I think his build is actually pretty solid on Ronnie Harrison Jr., if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 6'3" with 84 speed is really good for a strong safety or just a user in general. And you can even let him lurk by himself in the box. Honestly, this could be a card, like if I didn't have BND Cam Chancellor, I might look to sell my Cam Chancellor and then just use Ronnie Harrison in that same position. It's not a bad call. It's not terrible. We now have the AFC East with Taylor Rapp at an 83 speed. Rapp is usually all right, but, you know, 81 zone coverage, we'll take it on a strong safety. Anthony Walker is pretty solid. Anthony Walker, 84 speed. Again, probably not a guy you want to let like lurk by himself, but I understand why they even dropped the run stopper archetype if they're not going to give him a low block shed. Like, what's good on the card? The tackling, the hit power's low. The acceleration is pretty good though, but if you're going for acceleration, Jack Campbell is just simply the better option. Joe Tittman, under 80 in all the run block stuff, but the thing with Tittman that we don't know yet is he could be fast. They've made his cards pretty fast in the past. There's a chance maybe but that could raise him maybe a little bit. Obviously, the cards aren't fully out yet, so I don't really know. But Devon Godchucks, I don't know how you say his name, but 62 speed on this card with 69 acceleration and can't rush the passer. Good tackling, good block shed, but you have to get yourself in a position to make a tackle, and with the low speed, I'm good on Devon. I'm very good on that one. And finally, the AFC West. So yeah, 82 overall Divine Diablo is probably better than all the 85s. He's got 86 speed, 88 acceleration. So if you put him on a theme team, 87, 89 is crazy. He's got good tackling, good hit power. Pretty much built to be a user, like low block shed, low zone. They know that people are gonna be using this card. So Diablo also, if you're not familiar, I exited out my tab, but he's tall. Okay, he's tall there for Diablo. We then have Gus Edwards. Would not touch this card. I really would not. There's no, like, look at the 78 acceleration. Are you kidding me? We have Charles Oyamai. I don't know how you say his name, but 81 power moves. He's better than some of the other linemen we saw earlier. At least he has acceleration and some decent speed, but still not great. And then Alex Singleton, 84. You know, there are better users in the game. Even on a Broncos team, I don't think you should be using this card. I just don't see a place for cards like this. Yeah, I just don't. We now have our first 85 overall. Again, I was going to wait for the X Factors to come out, but they're still not here, and I would rather have this video ready for when the cards, or whenever the content does drop. I'll have this video right up for you guys so you guys can watch it. But Asante Samuel Jr., he's 5'10", 85 speed, 86 zone coverage, and keep in mind these 85s, they get all of their division chemistry. So for Asante, it'll be Chargers, Chiefs, Broncos, Raiders, but pretty good stats. And again, the Chiefs theme team, they already had good weapons, and then you add the fact you got Asante and you got Juan Thornhill today too. That's pretty solid drop. It's not, yeah. Even though they got a bad 82, they still kind of went crazy today. For the AFC East, we got Jalen Phillips. Actually a really good card because he is 80-80. Again, we'll get all AFC East chemistries, but 83 speed, 87 acceleration off the edge, and looks to be pretty solid against the run too. He'll be a pretty good edge rusher. All he needs is maybe a decent X factor. And I don't know if they even mentioned that if these cards would get them or will get them earlier today. They may have. I'll do a quick look, but it's like on MUT.gg, do they have up the abilities or anything like that? They don't have it. But yeah, you are going to have to use the Team Builder upgrade token, by the way. That's kind of an annoying thing, but I guess they didn't mention any X factors because they would be mentioned somewhere on this website. They usually are. Maybe they don't, but yeah, hopefully they get some good ones at least. All right, this one is horrible, like terrible. I don't know what they did to Joe Mixon, but they did him dirty, okay? 83 speed Joe Mixon. He's not going to get the fast spin more than likely. Even if he does, you have faster fast spin options in the game, so it really makes no sense to go get Joe Mixon. This card, unless he gets Freight Train pre-lit or something crazy, this card is just bad. I don't have much to say here. We now have Jack Conklin, just a solid offensive lineman. Just a nice offensive lineman. Nothing crazy to really discuss here. You see the stats, 85 and 84. Just a consistent, probably best right tackle in the game, Jack Conklin. So there he is. Cooper Kupp was also done dirty. The only thing that Cooper Kupp has going for him is that his cards do play well traditionally. So even though he has 83 speed, if you do have a Rams, Cardinals, a Seattle, I'm missing one, San Francisco team, there you go, I would try him out. I really would. I think he'll play pretty good with 84 speed. Is he great? Like, would I chase him outside of a theme team? No, but if you have any NFC West, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth giving him a try. I think this card has a chance to be actually pretty good, just based off how his previous cards play and how current receivers do kind of get their custom animations, and Kupp cards always have good strides and things like that, always good cuts. So just using that, I will assume that this card is going to be pretty solid, even though he's a little bit slow. For the NFC East, we have Daron Payne with 76 speed, 84 acceleration. I actually do really like. I wish he was just a little bit better as not only a run stopper, but also a pass rusher. But I mean, 81 isn't bad, but under 80 on block shed is crazy. But 87 strength might make up for it. So this card with high acceleration looks pretty good. I think that they could easily just drop better defensive tackle, so I'm not going to value this card too crazy. You know what I mean? But Daron Payne, he'll be okay. I think he's definitely worth going after if you have an NFC East team for sure. So we now have Baker Mayfield, and I find myself always underrating quarterbacks in this game because Baker's not Lamar, Baker's not Rodgers, Baker's not Brady, Baker's not Josh Allen. So, and we know we have a Vic coming, right? We know that's okay. So 84 throw power when, we have it. I have a 90 throw power Josh Allen. If they made him, I don't know, his release will probably be pretty good, but I really don't see the intrigue of Baker Mayfield. I mean, if you want to use him, sure, he's going to be fine, but he's not in that top tier of QBs. So that's why I might underrate him a little bit, but he does get Browns. Also, if they play for a different team, they will also get those chems. So Baker's going to get all NFC South chems, and then all the teams he played for. That's Rams, that's Browns, that's Panthers, am I missing one? I don't think I am. Baker's kind of been around, but if you want to use him, sure. I think this release could be pretty good. Normally, Baker releases are pretty solid. And for our final 85, we have Sam Laporta with 85 speed. They're making tight ends in this game really fast. Sam Laporta right now will be the best tight end in the game. He will be. He's tall, 85 speed, good short routing at 86. Not a great run blocker, but the good catching traffic, good spec catch. Sam Laporta is going to be a demon. Definitely going to be adding this card to my team today. And, of course, does get all NFC North chemistries, which is going to be really good. Like a potentially 86 speed tight end for 4 teams. Even 85. This is probably the only 85 that I would say go after if you don't have one of their theme teams. He's probably the only one. And finally, we have Myles Garrett. I'm expecting him to get some pretty crazy X factors because he does get persistent. So if he does get like an edge threat and you're able to light it up, it'll stay on for a little bit longer for completely free, which is pretty nice. But over 80, Myles Garrett cards always just play super good. I don't know if they even have. They should have Myles traits up, right? I mean, I know a lot of us haven't gotten even this Myles Garrett, but perfect traits on Myles Garrett. Combine that with the 80-80. Combine that with the speed and the acceleration. Whether you play him off the edge or in the middle, Myles Garrett is the best card from this drop. I know he's the highest overall, so it's kind of a layup, but I do feel like he is because he's like, it could have been like, even if it was like Lawrence Taylor or somebody, or someone like that who gets perfect trades. I'm trying to think of other guys. I'm blanking right now. Like Aaron Donald. It could, you could have plugged any perfect trait guy in here with these stats, and they'd be number one. If you put a 2-3 or a 1-3 guy, it might be a little different, but we know how important traits are for pass rushers, and I'm expecting some kind of crazy X factor. And these cards will get X factors. If any of these cards do get crazy X factors, check the pinned comment or any of my comments down below. I'm not expecting any of them to really move too much because they're X Factor. They're not going to give them like Freight Train or something like that. If they do, that'd be funny. But yeah, Myles Garrett I think is number one. But let's get to the tier list. Let's just get to the tier list. Yeah, and real quick, shout out to Mutality over on Twitter. If you don't follow him on Twitter, what are you doing? But right here, screenshot this. This is all of the, if you're able to see your team and what cards that they got today. So grab that screenshot right now if you'd like to. Again, shout out to Mutality, always putting these out whenever we get big 32 team content drops like this. So here is the final tier list. Let me know what you guys think down below. D tier is pretty much cards that I wouldn't even add to their own theme teams. I just wouldn't. C tier is like offensive linemen and cards that, yeah, they'll be all right, below average even on a theme team. B tier, they're, it's pretty much just a tier above that. A tier, I think they're worth trying and could end up being average / above average on a theme team. And then we have these guys up here like Thornhill on a theme team. 86 speed. Jalen Phillips with high acceleration, high speed, high finesse move. He'll be good. He'll be good on a theme team. Asante will be solid. Laporta, even, and I would say like all the guys in the top 3 pretty much are guys that I would go after with no theme team. And by the way, Myles Garrett gets all 32. I should have mentioned that. But Devon Diablo will be the best user in the game. He will be. I mean, even not on a theme team, he's going to go crazy. Laporta, best tight end. Myles Garrett, best pass rusher in the game. So that's where we're at. Drop a comment down below. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here, and have a great rest of your day.